Okay, so I'm on a tear tonight here, Space Marine.
Welcome back to another
Hey,
episode of 40 Facts
what's
About
up,
the
bro?
40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching
I'm
One Mind
working on my
Syndicate.
ruler here,
Today we
so
continue
what I
talking
needed to
about the
do was
Primarchs
an
and
inch
the
is what we
Space
know.
Marines.
An inch
As
is
we
common
get
right
into
hand
each
rule, nobody's
individual
going to care
genetic
too
flaw
much about
found
it.
in the Primarchs
So that's
that
our
get passed
first
on to their
X.
successor
That's our
chapters.
X to Y
If you're new to
distance
the channel,
in
subscribe. We
inch.
post Warhammer 40K
Um,
content every
and
single
so I took a
day.
match
And we're doing
box
a
and
100,000
I very
subscriber
cleanly
giveaway
drawed out some lines
prize
on it
thingy at
about
the end of
what
this
an
video,
inch
so
is,
stay tuned to the very end of
and
the
I cut
video.
it to
With that
a
said,
size.
let's
So
get
it
into
is
40 facts
1
on the genetic
inch
flaws
square.
of
It
the
is
Primarchs and their
one
successor
a
chapters.
piece
Every
of, what
Space
is it,
Marine chapter
30
is
second inch
defined by the
cardboard
legacy of their Primarchs.
that's got a
Through
white
their
and a
gene sets,
brown
these
side on
mighty
it,
beings would shape their
and
sons' bodies,
all four
taught
sides
them
are 1
teachings
inch
and
that are
philosophy.
perfectly
They would
square, corner to
influence their
corner.
minds.
Right.
But unfortunately,
Now,
many Primarchs suffered from
what we're
genetic
doing
abnormalities
is the
that led
fractals.
to
So what do you
genetic
start with? Well,
mutations
one
and
is its
deviations
own
from the
fractal.
common
It's
stable
one
stock. These genetic
length,
flaws
one
came to
side
define many of the
of
first founding
the
legions, who
geometry
would play a
that
big
this
role in
this
developing
one
their successor
square is
chapters.
worth.
To understand
But
each genetic flaw,
it'd be easy to
we
fold
must
it in
look at
half
each
to get
individual Primarch
the
and
half
their
and
unique
quarters bases.
characteristics.
Pretty easy to work it out from
Thor was
there.
the Primarch
But what
of
about the
Emperor's
thirds?
children.
And how do I
He was
orientate
said to
that?
be
Now
one
do
of
I
the
have
best-looking and
one
charismatic
as if it's
individuals
the
of
1
all
inch tile,
18
the
Primarchs
1 inch
found in
piece of
Imperial
scrap stone
record.
that you got to chisel out or scratch
Although it
something
seemed
on
that he
so
suffered
to
from
make
no
it worth
genetic
sand
flaw,
dollar over in
he did
bedrock,
deviate from the rest of his
2,500
brothers,
people that
in that he
you're
had a
doing.
psychological tendency towards
Is
personal
one
achievement
side. We just
and
did the
competition
what
to
we're
prove
gonna
his
do the left
superiority,
side.
as well as
The
an
left side
incredible
can't be the
physique.
top or the bottom.
This was
It's got
passed
to
on
be the
his
left.
legion, the Emperor's children, who inherited
So do you go top or
genetic
bottom next? Do you go in
predisposition to
X or
finely
Y
sculpted
here?
physiques,
That's
a
one
noble
of the
bearing,
flaws in this
and
gene
finely
seed, that if
controlled
we
thought
process
processes.
that line out,
The
that
same
would continue.
psychological tendency of
However,
perfection as their
it
Primarchs
may
overrun.
do some things,
The
and
only
out to
physical
the
abnormality
other side.
was
So
the
if you're gonna go,
occasional incident of
alright, square,
albinism and a
this is
shift
the
in
square.
iris color to violet in
It's
summer
perfectly
fruits.
square.
Such minor
One,
effects of gene seed implantation
also one,
and
but not one.
conditioning process
One,
did nothing to distract
but do I break
from
that
the
down
aura
into
of
half,
aesthetic refinement
or do I
that
break it
clung
down
to the
into
Third
thirds?
Legion. The Lord of
Can I
Iron,
use this
or
increment in
Perturabo,
here in the middle
Primarch of the
to say
Iron
there's
Warriors,
enough
was
distance,
born with a
corner to
couple of
corner, to
genetic flaws
quantify an
and
inch, but I
deviations.
can't get it close
The
enough
most
to the edge
important
unless
and
I
often least
pull
talked
one
about
off of the
was
Primarch
his
or get
natural
that one
affinity
out of that
towards problem solving.
gene
He
tomb
might
over
not have
there
possessed
and
the warp and
say
roar
the
of Magnus
measurement,
the
and then I'll
Red,
measure it to
or the
this, and
Warcraft
then I'll
of
make
Horus.
everything right
He
to it.
possessed a
But that's
calculating
not exactly
mind,
what we're doing
well
here. We're
suited
doing
to the
heresy
highly
here.
technical aspects of warfare.
Now,
He was also born
so if
with
you're
a
going to
natural
continue that,
awareness
does it
of
work
the
opposite
presence
the
of the Eye of
adjacent?
Terror,
So if
and could
one,
perceive the
and
echo
then
of it on every world
opposing
where he
that,
looked
I
up
guess
the
that's where you
heavens.
put the thirds,
The anomaly haunted his
and
dreams,
or is that
fretted
where you
his
put the
nightmares,
halves?
and colored his every
It
thought
would be half
since
to
he
it,
had
I guess.
learned
It
of its
would be
nature.
adjacent to it,
Perturabo
and above
did
it
not
would be
pass on his
3,
sensitivity
and
toward
below
the Eye
that
of Terror
5,
to
right?
his children.
Yeah, so
What he
we're
did
starting to get
pass
these
on
prime
was a
sequences.
marked
What is
tendency
2, what
towards
is 3, what
suspicion
is
and
5?
paranoia. This
Or do we
genetic
skip
flaw
that entirely?
drove
Just
a
say
wedge
that the
between
internal
Iron
mass of
Warriors
that
and the
object,
rest of
because
the
we might
Space
draw
Marine
a little
legions,
square, like it's
ultimately
Gaussian
culminating
inside of
in
it.
their
We could put a little
betrayal.
ball in there
Kitai Khan,
and keep the
the Warhawk,
Gaussian
or the Great
curvature here,
Khan,
because
was the Primarch of the
at
White
the
Squad.
radiant of a
He
half an
suffered
inch
from a
from
genetic
center
flaw
mass,
that he
it's
passed
still
on
going to
to
give
his
me an
children,
inch. It's still going to give me
sparked
some of these
because of his
spin
upbringing
ratios
on the
here
world
that
of Chogoris,
what
known
Jupiter's
as the
telling me at the
Chogorian
moment
savagery.
is
This
going to be
ferocity
correlated to
within
spin
their
mass
hearts
charm or
and their
whatever
blood granted
unit
them
measured
great
we would
power,
do, but for sure it
but
would be
it also threatened to
1,
consume all
2,
that they
3,
are and damn them.
and log
All
3
White
is not
Squad
something you get a
are
lot,
watchful
right?
of this
Kids think
necessary
about
yet
log 3 a
insidious
lot. What
savagery,
is
and it
half
is viewed with great
of
discipline,
9
humble introspection,
if
and often
you're
the
running
watchful
log 3?
eye
Well,
of
that's
their battle
3,
brothers
actually,
that
not
can hope to master
4 and a
themselves.
half. So that's
Lehman,
1 in
also
the answer.
known
Kids
as
can,
the
they
Wolf
think like that, and
and
you'll
the
hear me
Great
every
Wolf,
once in a while
is the
kick up
Primarch of the Space Wolves.
an
He
Acadesia
was
type
most
moment
famous for
of
possessing
just
the
a brain
altered
fart of the
gene
finest
seed called
caliber.
the Canis Helix,
But
or spirit of the wolf.
in
And
there,
within most
I was
genetic
thinking
flaws,
on
the
mine,
Canis
this
Helix
little
is
1 inch square
intentionally
here
activated into
that
every
we go
space
the
wall
left side
nearby.
1,
A space
3,
wall must face the
you
risk
keep
of this
moving right,
mutation
that you'll
in
get a
order to be
5,
accepted into the
7,
pack.
and
When a
end with an
space
11
wolf aspirant
integer.
is deemed worthy to join the
Log
champion,
11. Now I
he
know that don't seem.
partakes in a sacred
It's already
ceremony
fractaled at
where he
5 to
imbibes
be
the
10,
Canis
and it's
helix,
already
a
fractaled
genetic
at 3 to be
content
6. Already
drawn from the
fractaled at
genome
1
of
to be
human
4.
growth and used as a
And
catalyst to
we
activate
flip it
the
over, all there
genetically
would be is
engineered
prime
biomachinery
values
the
of
aspirant's
those
gene
logs,
seed implants.
why I couldn't
This
scale
mixture
easily.
is
But
drunk from
if
an
you've
ancient
noticed,
relic of the space
that
wolves,
problem
known as
didn't
the Cup
disappear.
of Wolfen.
It transformed. It turned into one of those things that it was already. and
space wolf
scuttered
then
down
runs the
into
risk
some
of succumbing to
apophis
the
of black
curse
hole.
of a
But
wolverine.
at any rate,
They turn into half man, half wolf beasts that cannot
11,
control their savagery.
7,
While this is
11,
not always a guaranteed or
13,
immediate fate,
17,
every space wolf must carry this
20,
genetic flaw.
13,
As space wolf authorities grow
17,
older
19,
and more experienced
23,
in battle, the
and
Canis helix causes
everything
additional
else can be
physical
described by
alterations.
a variation on the
turns gray,
fractal, that there's a
their
multiple
fangs
to
grow
it.
even
It would
longer,
be
their skin
in that
becomes even more
scale
leathery,
on
and
log
in some rare
3
cases, their
of
eyes
a
turn
3 by
yellow.
3 that's
It is
doing the
speculated,
internal
though not known
housing
for
gaussing
sure,
stuff,
that some latent genetic
but also at a
irregularity in
fractal
Canis
halves,
helix accounts for the
because from
unusual
those two states, at the
elemental-based
simplest
psychic
version of
abilities of
the
those
magic
space
square,
wolves who eventually
whether they want it to
become the
equal
chapter's ring
35 or
priests.
it's all together got to equal
The
100,
Primarch
what is
Robodorn
1
did not
and
suffer from any
0
genetic flaw,
is
nor did the
multiplying
Imperial Fists.
or dividing by
There is one
0. It gives you a
successor
point
chapter,
below
known
that.
as
We're
the
still going to be
Excoriators,
running log 10
that suffered
because
from
of
what
that
they called
1,
Dorn's
2,
darkness.
3,
When Dorn's darkness
5.
reached one of their numbers,
4,
it
5.
might appear to the untrained eye as merely a wretched palsy.
That's
A
the reason
slackness
Hello
of the
World
jaw,
works.
a
It's the
tremor
reason
of the limb,
YBCO
a
recipe
blankness
works.
of
It's
the
the
eye.
reason
But
Drill
those
Sergeant
who
can
survive
yell
it
at you. I'm
report
just
the
saying.
experience as a